The Executive Summary. Today's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. We're going to pull out the most important frameworks, the key insights, and the lessons that actually apply to how you lead and build. Like and subscribe if you want this every week. Here is the summary. Most leaders believe that a team's potential is limited by its resources, its market, or its talent pool. John C. Maxwell, after decades of observing and developing leaders, reveals a more fundamental truth. The ultimate ceiling on any organization's effectiveness is the leadership ability of its head. To ignore this principle is to accept a perpetual cap on your team's growth, your organization's impact, and your own professional ascent. You risk seeing promising initiatives falter, talented individuals underperform, and strategic visions remain perpetually out of reach, not due to external factors, but due to an unaddressed internal limitation. By the end of this analysis, you will possess a clear framework for identifying the invisible leadership lid that restricts your current potential, and you will understand the precise levers you must pull to elevate your influence and unlock unprecedented levels of success for yourself and for those you lead. Maxwell's work distills decades of practical experience and observation into universal principles, trusted by millions globally, from Fortune 500 CEOs to nonprofit directors, making this a foundational text for serious leaders. We begin by understanding the profound implications of this foundational insight and the enduring relevance of Maxwell's framework. Published in 1998, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell emerged as a seminal work addressing a pervasive and often unacknowledged problem: the widespread misunderstanding of what true leadership entails. In an era where titles were frequently mistaken for influence and authority for effectiveness, Maxwell meticulously deconstructed the essence of leadership, presenting it not as an inherent trait, but as a learnable discipline governed by immutable principles. Maxwell himself is an internationally recognized leadership expert, speaker, and author whose works have sold over 30 million copies worldwide. His organizations, Equip and the John Maxwell Company, have trained millions of leaders across diverse sectors, including business, government, and nonprofit. This extensive, real-world experience underpins every law presented, lending immense credibility and practical weight to his insights. The book's landmark status stems from its remarkable ability to distill complex leadership theories into 21 clear, actionable, and timeless laws. It provided a foundational framework, accessible to a broad audience, from aspiring managers to seasoned executives, enabling them to immediately apply these principles to enhance their influence and effectiveness. It became, and remains, a staple in leadership development programs globally because it cuts through the noise, offering a direct path to understanding and embodying effective leadership. Maxwell's central argument is unequivocal. True leadership transcends mere title or position. It is fundamentally about influence. Success, for both individuals and organizations, is determined by the consistent application of these universal laws of influence. This is not merely a collection of good ideas. It is a meticulously observed code of conduct for those who aspire to lead effectively and leave a lasting impact. The knowledge contained within these pages is not theoretical. It is the distilled wisdom of leadership in practice, designed to elevate your capacity to guide, inspire, and achieve. Lesson 1. The Law of the Lid. The first, and arguably most critical, principle Maxwell introduces is the Law of the Lid. This law posits that a person's leadership ability directly determines their level of effectiveness. In essence, the higher you aspire to go, the more sophisticated your leadership capabilities must become. Conversely, a deficiency in leadership ability places a definitive, unyielding limit, a lid, on an individual's or an organization's potential. Maxwell asserts that leadership ability acts as the ultimate ceiling. He illustrates this with a compelling analogy. If your leadership capacity registers as a 7 on a scale of 10, then your organization's overall effectiveness will inevitably peak at a 6. It cannot surpass its leader's ability. To elevate effectiveness, to unlock greater potential, the leader must first commit to raising their own leadership lid. This is a fundamental truth often overlooked by those who focus solely on external factors or team performance, neglecting the internal development required at the helm. Consider the dramatic turnaround at Apple in 1997. Despite possessing brilliant engineers, innovative product designs, and a strong brand, the company was teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. Its potential was demonstrably capped. The return of Steve Jobs, however, exemplified the law of the lid in action. Jobs, with his visionary leadership, unparalleled strategic acumen, and an almost magnetic ability to inspire and unify a disparate team, effectively lifted the lid that had constrained Apple. His leadership transformed the company from a struggling entity into one of the world's most valuable and influential corporations, not by changing the market, but by elevating the leadership at its core. The challenge for you, then, is to objectively assess what is the current lid on your team or organization's potential. And more importantly, what specific leadership skill do you need to develop? What aspect of your own leadership must you elevate to raise that lid by just one level this quarter? Lesson 2. The Law of Influence. Building upon the foundational understanding of the lid, Maxwell then introduces the Law of Influence, stating unequivocally that the true measure of leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. If you're unable to influence people, they will not follow you, and consequently, you are not leading. Maxwell rigorously argues against common misconceptions, asserting that position, title, or even extensive knowledge, while valuable, do not inherently equate to leadership. Influence, he contends, is earned. People choose to follow those they respect, those they trust, and those in whom they genuinely believe, irrespective of their official designation. Leadership, in this context, is a dynamic process cultivated through character, demonstrated competence, and genuine connection with others. It is a relationship, not a transaction. The life and work of Martin Luther King Jr. offer a profound illustration of leadership purely through influence. King held no official political office, no governmental power, yet his profound influence mobilized millions during the American Civil Rights Movement. His ability to articulate a compelling vision, to connect deeply with people's intrinsic values, and to inspire collective action on an unprecedented scale demonstrates leadership that transcended any formal authority. His power derived entirely from his capacity to influence hearts and minds. Therefore, beyond your current title or role, how do you intentionally cultivate influence with your team members, your peers, and your superiors? What is one specific relationship where you recognize a need to build greater trust and connection to genuinely increase your influence? Lesson 3. The Law of Solid Ground. The Law of Solid Ground underscores a critical truth. Trust is the indispensable foundation upon which all effective leadership is built. Character makes trust possible, and trust, in turn, makes leadership possible. Without this bedrock of trust, a leader's influence, no matter how initially strong, cannot be sustained. Maxwell explains that leaders earn trust through a consistent demonstration of 3 core attributes: their character, their competence, and their consistency. When a leader's actions are in unwavering alignment with their stated values and words, when they demonstrate integrity in decision-making, and when they prove reliable in their commitments, they forge a robust foundation of trust. This foundation is not merely a nice-to-have. It is the essential prerequisite that allows them to lead effectively, especially through challenging times. Patagonia, under the leadership of its founder, Yvon Chouinard, provides a compelling real-world example. Chouinard built a global company renowned not only for its outdoor gear, but also for its unwavering commitment to environmentalism and ethical business practices. His consistent dedication to these values, often prioritizing them even when it impacted short-term profits, fostered profound trust among both customers and employees. This unwavering integrity established Patagonia as a true leader in sustainable business, demonstrating that solid ground built on character yields enduring influence. Reflect, then, on a recent significant decision or action you undertook. Did it consistently align with your stated values and commitments? How can you proactively and demonstrably exhibit greater integrity and consistency in your daily interactions to strengthen the trust your team places in you? Lesson 4. The Law of Navigation. The Law of Navigation asserts that while anyone can merely steer a ship, it requires a true leader to chart the course. A leader's paramount responsibility is to envision the broader landscape, anticipate potential challenges, and meticulously plan the journey ahead, guiding their team through both calm waters and turbulent storms. Maxwell elucidates that leaders are not merely reactive problem solvers, they're proactive strategists. They possess foresight, the ability to think strategically, and the capacity to prepare both themselves and their people for what lies ahead. This involves not only setting a clear direction, but also considering the resources, potential obstacles, and alternative routes, ensuring the team is equipped and informed for the expedition. Winston Churchill's leadership during World War II stands as a powerful testament to the law of navigation. Facing immense pressure and existential threats, Churchill consistently articulated a clear, unwavering vision for victory. He rallied a nation, not merely by inspiring them, but by making critical strategic decisions that meticulously charted Britain's course through its darkest hours. His ability to see beyond the immediate crisis, to plan for the long game, and to communicate that path with conviction was the essence of navigation. Consider your own leadership. When was the last time you dedicated focused, uninterrupted time to strategic planning, moving beyond immediate operational tasks? What is one critical future challenge or opportunity facing your organization that you need to begin navigating and preparing for today? Lesson 5. The Law of E.F. Hutton. The Law of E.F. Hutton, named after the old brokerage firm's advertising slogan, posits a simple yet profound truth. When a real leader speaks, people listen. Their words carry significant weight, not merely because of their position, but because of their established reputation, their proven track record, and the deep respect they have genuinely commanded over time. Maxwell explains that this law highlights the cumulative power of a leader's credibility. It is their past actions, their consistent demonstration of competence, integrity, and genuine concern for their people that speak far louder than any current pronouncements. When a leader has built this reservoir of trust and respect, their words gain immediate attention and are received with a level of seriousness and belief that others cannot command. It is the substance behind the words that resonates. Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, exemplifies this law. His annual letters to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders are not merely financial reports. They are widely anticipated and meticulously studied by investors and economists globally. His decades-long track record of shrewd investments, transparent communication, and unwavering ethical conduct means that when he speaks about the economy, market trends, or investment philosophy, the entire financial world listens intently and acts upon his insights. Therefore, when you speak, do people truly listen and, crucially, act upon your words, or do they merely hear? What specific, tangible actions can you commit to taking this week to enhance your credibility and ensure that your words carry greater weight and impact with your team? Lesson 6. The Law of the Inner Circle. The Law of the Inner Circle reveals a fundamental truth about leadership capacity. A leader's potential is inextricably determined by the quality of those closest to them. To maximize your impact and achieve truly significant outcomes, you must intentionally surround yourself with a strong inner circle comprised of highly capable, complementary, and committed individuals. Maxwell emphasizes that no leader, however brilliant, achieves greatness in isolation. The caliber of a leader's closest advisors, direct reports, and key team members directly correlates with their own effectiveness and, by extension, the success of the entire organization. Leaders must be deliberate in building and empowering a diverse, talented, and loyal inner circle. Individuals who not only support, but also challenge, innovate, and extend the leader's own capabilities. A powerful historical example is Abraham Lincoln's team of rivals cabinet during the American Civil War. Lincoln intentionally appointed his former political opponents and intellectual giants to key positions. This seemingly counterintuitive strategy allowed him to leverage diverse perspectives, immense talent, and robust debate. His willingness to include strong, independent thinkers, even those who initially opposed him, amplified his own leadership and ultimately played a crucial role in preserving the Union during its most trying period. Evaluate your current inner circle, your direct reports, your key advisors, those you rely on most. Are they truly making you better? Do they challenge your assumptions, complement your weaknesses, and elevate your overall performance? What is one strategic change you could implement to strengthen this critical circle, either by empowering an existing member or by addressing a gap in perspective or talent? Having absorbed these foundational laws, the critical step is immediate application. Here are 3 concrete actions you can implement this week to begin transforming your leadership. Conduct a lid audit. Begin by identifying the single biggest constraint or lid on your team's or organization's current performance. This requires an honest, objective assessment. Is it communication, strategic clarity, execution speed? Once identified, Pinpoint one specific leadership skill within yourself that, if significantly improved, would most effectively raise that particular lid. This week, dedicate a focused 30-minute block to either research resources for developing that skill or to planning a specific development activity, be it reading a relevant chapter, seeking mentorship, or scheduling a practice session. Move 2. Practice intentional influence. Choose one key stakeholder, a team member, a peer, or a superior with whom you desire to increase your influence. This week, commit to performing one specific, deliberate action that demonstrates genuine care, showcases your competence, or reinforces your consistency in your interactions with them. This action should be undertaken without any immediate expectation of return or personal gain, purely with the objective of building trust and rapport. It might be offering unsolicited support, providing valuable insight, or simply following through on a minor commitment with exceptional diligence. Move 3. Review your inner circle. List the 3 to 5 individuals closest to you professionally, those you rely on most for counsel, support, and execution. For each person, ask yourself 3 critical questions. Do they genuinely make me better? Do they consistently challenge my thinking? And are they unequivocally loyal to the mission and to me? Based on this assessment, identify one person you need to empower more, perhaps by delegating a significant responsibility or giving them more strategic input. Alternatively, identify one critical perspective or skill that is currently lacking within your inner circle and plan a conversation or action to address this gap. These laws, while profound, are merely the beginning of a lifelong leadership journey. To continue your development, to unlock further insights from the world's most influential leadership thinkers, and to consistently elevate your impact, ensure you are subscribed to this channel. Hit the like button if you found value in this analysis, and crucially, activate the notification bell. This ensures you never miss an episode, guaranteeing you receive the elite-level knowledge required to stay ahead in your leadership development. Next week, we're breaking down another essential text.